Once the clay slurry had been pumped out of the pit, it required refining to remove impurities. Two of the main impurities are sand and mica. Coarse sand could be removed by allowing the slurry to flow through a deep tank called a sand trap. The heavy particles of sand would sink to the bottom of the tank where they could be removed. This was often done at the pit bottom prior to pumping. At Wheelmartin, the slurry was transferred to the refining stage using a series of pipes, leats and wooden launders. When the slurry arrived at the refining stage, it still contained fine particles of sand and even finer particles of mica. The slurry was directed into a series of shallow channels called drags. These wide, shallow drags slowed down the flow of slurry, allowing heavier particles to sink. Fortunately, clay particles are lighter than sand and mica, so the clay flowed onwards. At Wheelmartin, clay slurry passed first through the sand drags to remove any remaining sand. A concentric arrangement allowing one sand drag to be cleared of deposited sand while maintaining a constant flow in another. Once the sand had been removed, the slurry flowed into the wider, shallower mica drag. The mica drag had many channels and several levels for collecting mica particles. Each section had a removable plug which allowed periodic flushing of the deposited mica particles. A special tool called a shiver was used to clear out the channels. Drains underneath the drags carried away the mica and sand. Inevitably, some clay slurry would also escape, and this turned the local river white, hence the name the White River. Some mica drags were huge, such as those at Restauric, shown here in the 1970s. Today, sand is removed using bucket wheel classifiers in the pit, and mica is removed with cyclones. The final stage of refining at Wheelmartin was to add a blue dye to enhance the whiteness of the clay. This was added in the bluing house. The pure white slurry was finally sent to the settling tanks for thickening.